Okay, we're going to start the next session, and as some of the delegates are due to leave Sri Lanka this evening and they have to go to the airport and so on, therefore the next three presentations we will try to keep as short as possible. I would now like to invite Mr. Muhammed Haniff, Pure Land Learning College Association Incorporated in Australia. He will be making his presentation on connecting people, strengthening cohesion, promoting greater social trust, a Toowoomba initiative. And he will also take 3 or 4 minutes to give you a summary of the proceedings that had been taken place since yesterday.
Thank you very much, the MC. Amitofo. Ayubowan, Ayubowan, Ayubowan. Peace be upon you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'll try to get this across within 20 minutes. I know we are running out of time because there were a lot of expression of wanting to know this vision of making Toowoomba a model city. How do we take that? How do we make this journey? So this is what I hope to share with you within the 20 minutes, that what we do, what we plan, what are the activities and programs when we talk about inclusiveness. Now, this is only possible with the strong leadership that we have in Pure Land, and also this is possible of the cohesive team that we have. And I would like to take a couple of minutes, just a few minutes, to introduce the members of the team from the Toowoomba delegation. And if you look at them, they are very inclusive. A very quick one, that is, I have Tim Knox. Tim Knox, please stand up, Tim. Thank you. Tim is an indigenous. He is from the Aboriginal. And we have Scott McGarrett. You heard about him. He was there. He's very much worked with the community, a police officer. And Roberto Garcia represents the Toowoomba Regional Council, where the mayor gave us the talk just now. And we have Barry Sheehan. Barry works with the migrant. And Ellie is from the social media, that is Chronicle. And we have Dr. Frank Happel. Dr. Frank Happel is a humanist, a retired bone surgeon who is with us in the committee. And another interesting person that we have in the name of Thai Soo Kim. Thai Soo is a Korean, a Quaker, who is with us also. And we have Sarwan Narayan. Sarwan is a Hindu activist, part of our resource team. And we have Gurdeep Singh is a marriage celebrant and activist in the Sikh temple. And we have Said Ghazali. He's a youth activist with the Islamic Center there. And I will not leave out Joanne. Joanne Bray is with the Visitors Information Center, Toowoomba. And of course, I have with us 2 others who are in the team. That is Venerable Wu Pin and Venerable Wu Chin. Now, the Multi-Faith Center has thrived mainly is because of it's purely run by volunteers, with the exception of 2 staff. The volunteers that you have there, if you can give them a clap, they did a lot of work. Mia is there, woman. And we have Hazel. Hazel comes all the way from States just to volunteer, and she'll be going back in 2 days' time. And we have Sharina, who's manning the PowerPoint. We have Tina is there. And Lily, Yen, Popo, Lee, Regina, Luffy, Susan, and my staff. There's only 1 staff who's assisting me a lot, mailing. So these are just a little bit what I intend to do. Now I'm going to take you across this journey of, if you look at that, the reflection of making Toowoomba a model city of peace and harmony. Now, the key word that we use is connecting people, strengthening cohesion, promoting greater social trust. Now, how do we do that? Well, we know what, this is, of course, needs no introduction. Master Cheng Venerable Master Cheng Kun. Yes, before that, I think just to share a little bit, it depends on how you see whether I come from a complex life or a simple life. Now, I'm Muhammad Haniff. I am a Muslim. My mother is a Chinese. My father is an Indian. My grandmother is a Catholic. And my teacher is Venerable Master Cheng Kun. So I don't know whether it's complex, you know. And I'm a Muslim, and I work with the Pure Land Learning College. I serve the Pure Land Learning College as a full-time staff. I'm most honored with that. Now, what's the objective of this whole exercise of what we are trying to achieve is to strengthen social cohesion, as I say, to promote greater social trust through better appreciation of the diversity in faith and beliefs across the multicultural community, because Australia is very, very diverse. Though it's predominantly a Christian state, but then you have, if you look into the history of Australia, it's very, very diverse. Just like the community that I introduced you, we have Sikh, we have Quaker, we have social people, humanists, you know, we have those with faith, without faith, Islam, etc. So that's what I meant by diverse. Now, how do we hope to achieve that? Now, we hope to achieve by the three, we call it a very simple, humble initiative. That's training. Training is basically to build capacity. So what do we do with training? We promote training through giving the faith community leaders on dialogues, how to manage forums, how to organize, how to talk, because this is important. In interfaith, the language you use is very, very important. So we provide them that kind of training. And go back to the circle, please. And the next one is the learning. Learning is building bridges. What do we have in building bridges? We have the learning journey. We have understanding practices across faith session, interfaith study tour. That's basically under learning. Then it goes to the circle of engagement. That is basically the objective of engagement is to deepen understanding. So what do we have? We have interfaith dialogues, because this is something that was mentioned. Keep on repeating the importance of dialogue against debate, the value of dialogues, what dialogues can bring about. We have the Goodwill Committee, we have the spirit of sharing through friendship dinner, we have the cultural and festival, community sharing, and community engagement. Now I will just flash with you some of the activities. Start out with training. As you can see, this is one of the training that we do. You look at the cross section of the community that we have, which include youth. This is a training on building bridges across diversity, because as I say, it's a very diverse community in Australia. So when we have this, the next training that we have, we also conduct community interfaith dialogue workshop on how to engage, what is the dialogue, how to engage in the dialogue, how to promote dialogue. So we ran a couple of workshops on that. There's another one. This is the third workshop that we ran, and this is a representation of the community, the committee that you see, or rather the community that you see that attended this workshop. That's on training. Now on learning, what do we do? As I say, is to build bridges. You see here is an experience in a Sikh temple. So what we do is we organize visits. We bring the community leaders. We bring the young. Go to the Sikh temple to see a Sikh temple, to experience. And we here attending a Sikh wedding. And of course, that's learn about the langar. What is the langar? The langar is a community kitchen. It's run by the community, by volunteers. So you see us here being served, and get them the taste, give them the comfort. This is the one way of breaking the barrier, one way of accepting each other. That's your way of serving, that's your way of eating. Next, then to the mosque. Of course, there's a lot of fear there's a lot of misconception that you cannot, if you're a non-Muslim, you cannot go to the mosque, which is not true. All right, look at this. This is a mosque, a Bosnian mosque that we visited in Brisbane, and look at that warmness, the dialogue with the imam, and also a group picture to remember. Then we also bring them to the church to get to know the church, because it's important to know the churches as well. And that's understanding Hinduism, because many people misunderstood Hinduism in the sense of what each deity represents. All right, each deity represents certain God. So this is what we do. We bring them there. Not only bring them, if you look, our vulnerables also participate, our community leaders participating, and we engage in a dialogue. That's on Hinduism. Then we have here dialogue in an Anglican church, which this is the church that is being run by Reverend Dr. Jonathan Inping, which he spoke just now in the question and answers. Then we also, because of the diverse, even the Christian faith in Australia, we also get to know the Catholic Church. Then again, the question of somebody says, and I think this was the lecture mentioned by Master, and also just now one of our excellencies mentioned about getting to know understanding each other. Now, we invite the faith leaders to come in and share their faith with the community. And I think if you look at it, just look at it very carefully, the warmness and the comfort. Here you have a reverend who gives a talk on Jesus Christ in a monastery with the statue of Buddha at the back. So that's what we want to create. We want to create that comfort. We want to give them the space that it's okay. There we have the sharing of other faith, the sharing of Baha'i. This sharing session is done every Saturday, twice a month. We have different faith. This is Islam, where I do the lectures on Islam, and this is on Hinduism. This our Father Brian is the Vicar General of the Catholic Diocese. This is on Buddhism. This is the interfaith study tour which our Master brought us. So we all went on a tour to get to know the Vatican, to understand more. And this is the group, and this is the picture of the Master with His Holiness the Pope. Now, next we go on to engagement. What about engagement? This is, we engage the word inclusiveness. We engage every aspect of the community. Everyone, from the government officers to the police officers to the mayor. Seen here is, flashback, seen here is our Executive Vice President, Venerable Wushin, with the mayor. You heard his introduction just now, the mayor who spoke. That's the mayor, Paul Antonio. And also we invite our councillors as well as our federal MP to be part of the talk. They come and give talks. They sort of inspire, get them involved. So it's a peace journey is a sort of a teamwork. You don't make a journey alone. All right. Everyone that you can include, everyone that you, if you go on the concept of inclusiveness, then you will work with everyone. Then this is Sophie Ryan. She is our youth ambassador. I think many of us were very impressed with her, but most unfortunate she could not make it today. And this is our interfaith dialogue circles. We do interfaith dialogue circles, and we get involved. We involve every aspect, every level, every class of the community to be part of it. We discuss on certain topics. That's some of those things that go. And this is the members of the Goodwill Committee. I think we are proud that we are the only one that we have started. And those that I mentioned were members of the Goodwill Committee, which has a cross-representation of both the faith community leaders and individuals. And this is a section of our forum. Forum is part of our engagement exercise. That's where we have, if you look at, we had this forum in University of Southern Queensland. And this is our Master delivering an address on religious education at the forum. And these are the faith leaders. Now, while we work with our own faith leaders, we also invite faith leaders from the region, so that let them come and share, let them interact. There's a lot of learning that you can learn from others. And this is part of the conversation. The mayor, as I say, all aspects. We get the commissioner of police coming down to sort of get to know us. Then this is the gathering again of the faith and community leaders. You see a representation of the Jewish, Muslims. And this is one big event that we had, One Humanity Manifest in Brisbane. And again, this is part of our community outreach. As I say, we balance our program as what it says here, intercultural and interfaith, so that you break the thing and not having many faith because people will be thinking you're trying to convert. So we balance it. It's just like food. Food is a connector that brings us together. So this is the Carnival of Flowers where we participated just recently on the 22nd of September. And that's the one, if you look of the people that who are comfortable to come together. And this is our language and cultural festival. We try to get ourselves involved in every aspect of the community activities. And these are segments of those programs that you see. And this is the goodwill exchange with the faith and community leaders. Every 3 months, we invite the community leaders to come up, share anything, any concern, anything that can help to strengthen the community, anything that we need to address. So this is the interaction with the faith leaders, and this is in dialogue with the faith and community leaders. This is our friendship dinner. This friendship dinner has been on for the past 11 years. It's a brainchild of our Venerable Master, because it's beautiful, because as I say, it's a very simple dinner. It's all vegetarian. They come for a dinner, they eat whatever we have, we share a meal. We call it sharing the meal. Then after that, the last half an hour, we allow the community to speak, to tell them about themselves, their lives, a story. So we program for them, and that has brought along a lot of cohesiveness, a lot of togetherness, and it has been going on for the past, as I say, past 11 years, every Saturday without fail. Then this is a sharing of festival and culture. As you can see, because of the diversity, you have the Filipinos on the right, on the left, that's Tim Knox sharing on the Aboriginal, and then we have the Bajan, and we have our Muslim brother sharing about the Algerian culture and festival. This is community sharing. Now, we reach out to everyone. The one on the left is a taxi driver, because he's equally important. A taxi driver will be a very good ambassador to help you to sell your message. So we get him to come down and share some of his experiences as a taxi driver, so that the community knows, oh, it's a hard life. You know, it can be a frightening life sometimes. So we allow everyone to share. And this is one of those friendship dinner where Master was there, so we took a picture. Usually it's about within 100 to 150 that we get the numbers. And we also celebrate other festivals. Now, a section of the community at our Christmas celebration. For this year, we are doing it on the 1st of December. So if you look at the crowd, it's open to the community. Usually we get about within 500 to 600. And we also, being part of the inclusive society, we celebrate Australia Day every year. So that's also, and it's part of the Buddhist teaching that, you know, you share a little of your wealth. I think this is something even with the Muslims, with the Hindus and others. So this is part of the Buddhist teaching to share. So Venerable Pure Land shares what we have with the Toowoomba Hospice. The little that we have, we share with them. We work with them. This is the base hospital. We work with them on their programs. And we also, as I say, we work every segment. This is the Tourist Information Center. Now, because they are the people who can, again, as I say, to help you to share your objective, to share your vision. So we work with them closely. This is a little bit of the Pure Land family. The beauty of Pure Land is we thrive with the volunteers, because we primarily work with volunteers. Now, this is a very interesting picture that I want to show you. Is that the one? I'm not sure what do you think of this picture. I'm not sure, because the perception, it's the big and the small. Sorry, not using the color from a white to a different color. Somebody who's powerful, somebody who's trying to be, trying to test the patient or test the strength. But I'll show you this. So what does this indicate? We can celebrate our differences, all right? So it doesn't matter what we are, who we are. As Sophie Ryan says, as many of our delegates have mentioned, we can celebrate, just like we celebrate food. If you like cabbage, I like tomato, but it's still a meal together. You eat your cabbage and I'll eat my tomato. It's okay. That's what we are. And this was, look at that. I think these are living examples. If you look at it, go back to the policy, the concept. The strong is supposed to protect the weak. So it's what exactly a bear is showing to the husky dog. So I think this sort of just conclude my short presentation on the initiative. I know we don't have much time. I'm going to do a little bit on the round up with the program summary for the last 2 days. There are a lot of valuable points that have been mentioned. We have captured inside the system there. We'll be most happy, Your Excellency, if you need a copy of the outcome, the desired report, we can give it to your office. That will be our obligation, because I think we need this lasting kind of a cooperation. We need to work together. We'll give it to you. And also there are some other very valuable things, like mentioning about the importance of education, from the day one in school. And of course, I think I like particularly our Excellency from, I think from the Holy See, His Excellency Francisco Polo, is that? Who mentioned about going back to tradition. I think that's correct, going back to tradition. So these are some of those valuable things that we have captured. So we'll look into it, we'll examine it. I must say that we are crawling, we have not reached there. It's a long journey, as constant as what His Excellency President Mahinda Rajapaksa mentioned, that he spoke at the palace about peace is about something that is continuous, lasting, and it has to be sustainable. So this is what we'll try to do it. So with that, I'd like to end off my talk, and I thank you very much for giving me some of your time, and I hope that I go back richer, learning from you, listening to you, getting your feedbacks as much as. Please help us along the way. You have our email addresses. If you think there are things that we can do to improve ourselves, please help us, because we are not good. Because if we think we are good, we can never be better. So we are just trying, and we want you to be our friend and walk alongside us. Thank you very much. Amin Tofo. Thank you.